can just pick up from it was the night of.
Yeah. So it was the night of that day of hard work, because really it was way out of town that, he got a stroke. It was in the early mornings actually that he got the stroke. Uh, it was, to us, it was like a, was like a mirage. I just couldn't believe it because he was a very healthy person, as far as we knew him, very active. Even though he was aging at that time, but he was just about in his 60s. So it was devastating, to see this very able-bodied person, just being incapacitated, and not able to even lift his hand. So it was quite devastating. And it was not just devastating to us as his own children, but it seemed, the whole Christian community in Jos and Plateau, were very devastated by what happened. You could see the traffic, coming in and out of the hospital, and you would know that, something terrible had happened,
That gradually led to, I guess, I don't know if it led to the next sickness or what actually led to his passing.
After the stroke, he was taken to the hospital in Britain, and after a few months, he regained his speech and the movement of his body, because when he got sick, he could not talk, and for I think over 3 months, he could not say a word. He was alive. He was able, you could see him seeing, and but he could not move, a part of his body, and he could not talk. After this over 3 months, he regained his speech, and this is what he said. That somebody came into the hospital room. He actually said he saw Jesus walk into the room. In that moment he walked into the room, his tongue was released, and he was able to speak and was able to talk. And it was from there that he now began to regain, his movements, and until when he was able to walk about. From the time he got the stroke to the time of his death, there was a period of about 3 years. So now, in the course of that, he now developed the prostate cancer, and that seemed to eventually be what took his life.
The day of his passing, do you remember that day?
Yeah, very, very much. I remember the day of his passing like this. I was at the hospital as usual, and I spent the whole evening. I think I left there at about 11 p.m. Went home, and I went to sleep. And at about 3 in the morning, there was a knock at my gate. Actually, it was a car horn, and the doctor who was taking care of him, was the one that was at the gate. And when I saw him, I knew something had happened, because it was a very odd time to visit the house. So I let him in. He sat down and just began to tell me to be courageous. It was very clear what had happened. Dad had passed on. So we prayed there, and we got into the car and got to the hospital. And I went and saw him. So I I just glorified the Lord. I prayed and I cried. You know, I just gave the Lord the glory. And that was it.
His funeral brought about probably more people out of this city than any other funeral in the history of this town. Um, Talk to me about that day.
Yeah, his funeral, and even the period of mourning was something else. Uh, Apparently, he died on Easter Monday morning. So it was so symbolic and significant. After I left the hospital, I went straight to the pastor's house, our pastor's house, and I told him this was what happened. And he cried, and when he got it to himself, we prayed, and I left there to go and tell his other brothers. And that morning or that day, the Easter Monday day, is a day that the Christians gather together for special can Easter rally. So the announcement of his demise was announced in that place. Right from that moment till the next 2 weeks, it was a traffic of in and out of crowds of people, just coming in from within the city, from the whole of the plateau, from outside of Plateau State. They were coming in from Bauchi, from Adamawa, from Taraba, from Kano, from Kaduna, just all the surrounding Middle Belt states. It was just one, traffic coming in and out. The house was like a marketplace. There were no less than 150 people constantly in that house. Apart from those coming in and out, those who were just permanently there, they were just there mourning. So that was the kind of experience before the burial. And on the burial day, and by the way, during the time of the mourning, the ordinary were there, the intellect were there, the clergy were there, the highly placed were there. The whole Christian body just came. So that was quite comforting. That became a source of comfort to us, seeing that. And so that was what happened until the day of the burial, when we were just amazed of the crowd that came out. Was amazing. Multitudes of people there. We were inside the church. We didn't know what was happening outside until when we came out, and it was just beyond our imagination. The stadium couldn't have been enough, for the crowd that came out that day. People were just out in the streets. They just took over the streets, and they were just standing, throughout the funeral service. So it was a mammoth crowd that gathered on that day. And one of the amazing experiences we had, or for those who were outside that day, was that a cloud came and formed right where the service was taking place, and